I don't know where to start. Hairdresser 2016. So yeah, you're probably wondering, what on earth happened to your hair? Well, basically, in the last few days, right, I hated having long hair. Like, seriously, like, it's got in the way so much. It was getting thinner, I didn't like it, and you know, well, you probably don't know, no one knows, but like, it really is getting annoying, like, well, it was getting annoying having long hair, so I just basically said, you know what, screw it. 2017 is coming up, January's coming up, a new start for a new year, why not just have a haircut? So, boom. There. My hair is probably the shortest it's been since the series has begun, and it's the shortest it's been since, like, at least mid-2014. Yeah, it's a bit, short. Yeah, anyway, hello Matt, it is the 22nd of December, it is 3 days until Christmas. So it does mean this is my last vlog until Christmas, and I would like to wish everyone watching this a Merry Christmas, because I won't get to wish them that beforehand. Hope you get everything you wanted, hope you spend a lot of time with your family, and I hope you gorge yourself, because, well, maybe not you Matt, because you want to stay fit, and Christmas I bet is a terrible time for like you, because like, you're just going to be tempting off food, but yeah, obviously you can't do it for all eternity at Christmas. You got to treat yourself sometimes. And yeah, basically just have a Merry Christmas everyone, because I'll probably forget to mention it throughout the rest of the vlogs. You're probably wondering, why am I doing the vlog this early? Well, because I'm starting work at 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And yeah, that is very early for me. The earliest I've started beforehand was at 7, and now it's 2 hours earlier. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a bummer. And does technically mean, like, for the last 2 years, 23rd and 24th of December, I've worked both days. And it's probably going to be the same story for most of the rest of my life. Hate supermarkets. Seriously, hate how some places are so busy at this time of year, and other places are so, like, quiet. Like, it's ridiculous, like how some places are just so dead, and you get paid the same amount as working really busy. Sorry, it's just, it really annoys me how, like, these 2 days of work are going to be hell for me. Anyway. Right, one last point before we get into the review of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, that is, we kind of forgot about that whole, well, I kind of forgot about that whole, we're going to suggest a new rule every single vlog for the next year. For the rest of this year, we are meant to suggest a new rule. I kind of forgot about that myself, so you know what, I'd say before the start of next year, me and you, send each other messages on Facebook about new rules, what can be added, what can be taken away, because I think next year we could make it a lot more action-packed, because this year, I don't know, for me, I'm not saying anything about you Matt, but for me I'd say my vlogs this year have been very confined. Apart from the vlog in Spain, I don't think I've been outside at all, which is appalling. It really is. So if we can introduce, I don't know, a new rule or something, or change my day, I don't know, but it'd be good in that regard. So yeah, we've got to suggest new rules for next year, Matt, because well, next year's meant to be different. Anyway, let's get into the review of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I saw it a day before seeing Rogue One, so yeah, literally the day before. 2 spin-offs to 2 franchises I love. It's a bit misleading wearing this jumper, I didn't even realise, I'm just sort of cycling through everything in my wardrobe. It's a bit misleading wearing a Star Wars jumper when reviewing a Harry Potter movie, or Harry Potter universe movie. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is set in the Harry Potter Wizarding universe, but it's about 60 years before Philosopher's Stone, I think. And it's really not related to it at all. Like, you don't even really need to know Harry Potter to know this film. It's completely unrelated. Albus Dumbledore and Grindelwald are Albus Dumbledore's mentioned. Grindelwald plays a bit part in the movie, and I think they're the only two characters who are mentioned in the film. Well, obviously Dumbledore. I think Grindelwald's mentioned in the films. So you can basically watch this first. It's got no relation, but it's still magical. It's Newt Scamander, a former student at Hogwarts, who is basically an environmental activist for wizarding creatures and beasts and fantastic beasts, and he's lost a few, and he's travels to New York to set one of his animals free where it deserves to be. He's pretty much just an animal activist in the wizarding world, and he loses a few of them in New York, so he has to find them. But then he finds there's a little more to New York, which has magical beings and sort of meets the eye. So he's dragged into helping out with a lot of magical conundrums that Grindelwald may or may not be a part of. And along the way he meets a nomad or muggle called Kowalski, and a few workers at the Ministry for Magic US version, and they are investigating a family who hates witches and wizards and wants them destroyed. And and then there's this thing called an Obscurus, which is behind all these attacks in New York, all this while trying to find Newt Scamander's beasts. Right, so the plot is a little bit jumbled. I'd say it's got two plots. Each of them could work on their own. The finding the missing creatures is built really for humour, and it's very humorous, these parts. But it's done about, I'd say, 45 minutes before the end of the movie, like that whole thing's concluded. So there's obviously the second plot is introduced, which is a lot more Harry Potter-like, but it is very confused in my opinion. Like, the villain isn't really realised, and the Obscurus is kind of mentioned, but it's not really developed that far. So I'd say each of the plots works, but not together. You could have had one or the other. Probably the Obscurus, because I mean, it's called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but I don't know, it's only called that because of the first plot. The second one doesn't have a lot to do with the first one. So yeah, I'd say the plot is pretty muddled, but of course, though, that's not really the major focus. In my opinion, it's a character-based movie, and let me tell you right now, the characters of Kowalski and Newt Scamander are some of the best characters I've ever seen in cinema history, period. Oh, I'm not even joking here. I seriously am saying they are incredible. You have Newt Scamander, who is a really egocentric but naive about America wizard, who you like him because he saves animals. He's pretty much the David Attenborough of the wizarding world, and he's got some sort of personality of Marty McFly and the Doctor, which is just a guaranteed way to succeed with a character. So really likeable. Eddie Redmayne gives his all. I mean, really, like, he can do no wrong pretty much. And then you have Jacob Kowalski, played by Dan Fogler, who is, in my opinion, the Harry Potter movies never really delved into the Muggle aspect, definitely the wizarding aspect, and Harry, knowing his place in the wizarding world, is really similar to Kowalski's part in the movie, but in my opinion it is really interesting how Kowalski sees the world, and Dan Fogler lends his part tremendously. He is great at playing this role of someone who knows nothing about the wizarding world and is just dragged in here for no reason at all, really. He's just sort of, him and Newt kind of get into a bit of an argument and then just sort of roped into it, but his story arc is really good. They make really good chemistry, and seriously, they make the movie. Two great personalities working off each other, brilliant. And also the rest of the cast do well. There's the Ministry, one of the workers from the Ministry, and her sister, really good kind of romantic interest for the two lead heroes, and the villains are also really interesting. They're not the best, but they're still quite threatening, and the Obscurus is a good villain, and the creatures lend some good humour, and the CGI as well is also brilliant. Like, just the way they demonstrate what is its command, and they also carry over what was in Harry Potter into this universe, which is great. And there's a few questions I never knew I wanted the answer to in Harry Potter answered in this, which is just brilliant. Like, this movie was so unexpectedly good in my opinion. Like, the thing is, Rogue One I had quite high expectations for. It's sort of, and it wasn't bad, it was still good, but it didn't meet my expectations entirely. Fantastic Beasts I had quite low expectations for. It was just sort of set 60 years before. Is this really going to feed into anything? It doesn't really look like Harry Potter. So I like it probably a bit more than Rogue One. Despite not technically being as good a movie, I'll probably like it just a touch more, simply because I was way more surprised how it turned out, and I was way more happy with the end result. And that all centres around the two main characters. I'll say it's a very, 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 very good movie. So yeah, it's a pretty good end to the year in my opinion. The cinematic year has been pretty poor. I've seen 10 movies this year that came out this year. I've seen way more than 10 movies this year, like around the 70s, 80s area. But yeah, I've seen quite a lot of movies this year, but the ones that came out this year, only okay, out of 10, 6 of them I've not liked. One of them out of 6 I've despised. You guess which one. 2 of which I found okay, and 2 of which, or 1 of which I found good, and the other one really exceeded my expectations. And this is the one that exceeded my expectations. So well done, the end of this year. So yeah, this vlog's been going on for ages, Matt, so sorry. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Saturday, and Merry Christmas to all of you.